So what I was going to talk about today is just give an overview of the status of the project, and then really talk about some of the newer initiatives which have been started over the last year and give a status update on them. So let's just start off with an announcement. There are various press releases going out today that two new members have been welcomed onto the Xen Advisory Board, and we're excited and honored to have Fujitsu and VA Linux join the other members of the Xen Advisory Board. Both companies have made major contributions to Xen for a number of years now, and we're sure that having them on the advisory board will strengthen the advisory board and help guide the direction of the project. So thanks very much to Fujitsu and VA Linux. I know that there are many engineers from both companies in the audience today. So thanks very much, and look forward to continuing to work with you. So if we look at where Xen is today, so a statistic which one of the analysts came up with was 18% of the enterprise server market is running on Xen, which is a pretty high figure, and it's one that's continuing to keep growing. So that's very encouraging. But one of the figures which I think is most exciting is over 80%, almost 90% of the public cloud runs on Xen. And certainly all of the world's largest virtualization deployments are Xen-based. And when Xen started as a research project in the University of Cambridge Computer Laboratory, it was part of a bigger research project which was called Xenoservers. And if you look at what the Xenoservers project was building, if you look at the description of that, it's effectively what we call infrastructure as a service cloud computing today. So it really was the forerunner to that. So Xen was designed specifically to meet that kind of use case, where we wanted to be able to divide up the machine and be able to sell sections of that machine to paying customers, and be able to ensure that both parties were happy with that arrangement. So you could sell part of the machine to Coke, another part of the machine to Pepsi, and for them to both be confident that data wasn't going to leak from one to the other. And also we wanted to be able to provide resource guarantees so that the customers would get the resource that they're reserving, would actually get the resource they're paying for. So that's always been one of the key aims of the Xen design, is to provide that security that people can have confidence in, and to provide that resource isolation. And because Xen was designed for effectively that cloud use case, perhaps it's not surprising that Xen is so prevalent in the cloud today. The development community, there are many companies contributing to Xen. This is just looking at the statistics over the last year, at the number of different email addresses where it's easily identifiable. So, the project certainly continues to grow. And we're now, obviously, Xen started off being targeted at servers, but now with the Xen Clients initiative, there's an awful lot of work going on at desktops and laptops. And now we're beginning to see Xen starting to appear embedded in many devices which you can go and buy. So there are storage appliances that have Xen embedded in it. Also, the various network appliances now contain Xen. And hopefully smartphones with Xen in it too. Simon from Samsung will be talking about that later. So, this is Werner Vogels, who's the CTO of Amazon, talking about why he selected Xen for use in their Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. And he went on to say that, as well as having this, the importance of the software being open source, and the fact that there's this very active community around it, one of the other things that impressed me was the rate of development of the Xen project. And I think that that's one of the exciting things about the project, is the rate at which we've been able to get new features and to keep expanding the capability of Xen. I'll be talking about some of that today, and Keir will later, and we'll obviously hear a lot more about it over the next couple of days. But Xen started life in a university and still has very strong connections with many universities, and there's a lot of very innovative ideas being created in universities and also in corporate research laboratories. A lot of very interesting stuff being done on Xen, new features being added to Xen, entire new uses of virtualization being created using Xen, and that all feeds back into the project. That's what enables things to keep moving forward so quickly. And all of these other hosting providers and cloud providers have selected Xen as the hypervisor they use. So Xen has always had a great reputation for performance, and these are just a couple of independent studies which have been done, I think, in the last 6 months. One of the it was a particularly nice piece, a thorough evaluation by Keith Ward of Virtualization Review, comparing the performance of various hypervisors across a range of workloads. And he came to the conclusion that Xen is the Porsche of hypervisors. So we exhibited the best performance pretty much across all of the tests. And that's very encouraging that we're able to maintain our performance lead. And other tests there showing sort of 40% gains over other hypervisors. And that has really come about as a result of two approaches being combined together, one hardware and one software. And we strive hard in the Xen project to make sure that we're first and best to support any new hardware features that appear on the platform, whether that's in the CPU, the chipset, or the various I/O devices. And by working closely with the vendors who are creating those hardware, they're putting the new features in the hardware, we're able to make sure that we get great support in the Xen project. And of course, Intel are adding many of those features into the CPUs, the chipsets, and the I/O devices. And much of the work on that, of course, happens in this facility here. And I'm sure many of the people in the audience worked on that very code. So that's key to Xen's success. And then the other aspect is working with operating system vendors to actually enable the paravirtual extensions to be added to the operating systems, to make them aware of the fact they're running in a virtualized environment, and to be able to make use of hyperforms and other extensions to optimize performance, and also not just optimize performance, but also improve correctness, so that the application's behavior is expected. And now all of the major operating systems have got those paravirtual extensions added to them, and all of the hypervisors now support some kind of paravirtual API. And those two techniques, the hardware and software, will continue to work hand in hand, enabling us to get best performance. And also increasingly important to get that performance predictability. When you have paying customers, paying for resources on a fraction of resources on the server, performance predictability is very important. And both techniques come into play there. So now I'm going to talk a bit about the Xen Client Initiative. And this was created in 2007 to really prepare Xen for use on desktop and laptop systems. And there's a lot of work that's had to happen to achieve that and to make it so that we can have a true Type 1 bare metal hypervisor running well on desktop and laptop.